Welcome into Ready Golf, a Better in Green production where we just cut right to the point. We're keeping this short and sweet for the Waste Management Phoenix Open starting tomorrow. Me and Ethan are going to give you guys our four different bets from four different categories. And at the end of the show, we're going to give you a two-leg parlay. Please let us know in the comments who you like for the Waste Management Phoenix Open. We're going to get into more golf content, and also let us know in the comments if you want us to talk about some other bets, or if you don't like the format. If you like the format, let us know. But Ethan, welcome. Our first golf episode ever at Better in Green. We're just going to cut right to it. Like I said, keep it short and sweet. We're going to give out a winner, a long shot, a top 20, a miscellaneous bet, and like I said, our two-leg parlay. So Ethan, who do you got winning the Waste Management Phoenix Open?
Yeah, I am. Clearly Scotty Scheffler in the field. It's hard to not look at him anytime he's playing, but I'm not going to come on here and give out a plus 250 or wherever he's sitting. I'm going to go a little bit further down the list. I like Siwoo Kim plus 2,700 outright this weekend. And really, what I'm looking at here, I want to see his current form, want to see his course history. Current form, in the three tournaments he's played this year, he tied for 11th at the Sunny Open, 6th at the American Express, and 2nd at the Farmers Insurance Open this past weekend. Strokes gained, he's 10th total strokes gained this season, 3rd tee to green, 4th in approach. He has struggled putting. He's 129th right now, putting strokes gained. So, that is where that could hurt him. But kind of banking on his putter getting a little bit hot this week. And, if he's able to get onto the green and, not lose strokes putting, then I think he'll be in good contention. His recent history here at the Waste Management Phoenix Open, he tied for 21st in 2025, 12th in 2024, 23rd in 2023, and then 26th in 2022. So pretty good course history as well. Not any top tens, which I would kind of like to see, but I like his recent form. I like his course history. Siwoo Kim plus 2,700 feels like a nice price for an outright this week.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people talking about Siwoo, and it's nice to see him back up on the leaderboard. I know if he's had a couple down years, but looks like he's back on form. So I don't hate that one at all. I debated that one. I'm going to get a little chalkier on mine. I'm glad you brought up the Scotty thing. If it's probably going to be a reoccurring theme here. He's going to be the favorite in every single tournament. I will not give him out on the show unless it's a major. So just an FYI, he's probably going to win it. I mean, he's won it twice here. Scotty has. I'm not going to take him at freaking plus 210 or whatever he's at. So I'm just not going to do it unless we're talking about Augusta or another major. I'm going to give out the third favorite though. Like I said, a little chalky. I'm going to go Cam Young here. The 28-year-old best odds are plus 2,400 on DraftKings is what I'm seeing. He has one start on the year where he tied for 22nd at the Farmers. Course history, he's played this tournament 4 times. He's gotten those last 2 starts have been very impressive at the Phoenix Open. Tied for 8th and tied for 12th. He has one career win, which occurred last year. So he's opened the floodgates for career wins, and it seems like he's just getting close to getting that kind of bigger win. I know this isn't a major, but this is kind of up there with I would say top 8 tournament of the year, maybe top 7. So this would be a huge win for him. He's playing really well. Like I said, third favorite on the odds, and a tie for 8th in 2024, tied for 12th in 2025. I like Cam Young as my winner for this Waste Management. We're going to next transition into what we call a long shot or a sleeper pick, someone just not in the top 10, maybe not even in the top 20. I'll start with this one. I really like this guy. And the one thing about the Waste Management is it's a very different golf tournament. It's obviously playing in the desert. There's a lot of water. It's a tough course. But the toughest thing I think in this tournament is the crowd. I was lucky enough to go to the 2022 Waste Management, and that 16th hole, the Coliseum, has like 200,000 people there screaming at you, and just an atmosphere that golfers aren't really used to. And some guys just thrive under that. We saw Scotty kind of thrive. And this guy I really think is going to thrive under the boos, the screaming, the yelling, the hype of it. And that is going to be Sahith Theegala. So I'm going to take him as my long shot winner, plus 5,000 best odds. That is over at Fanatics. He has 2 starts this year, a tied for 8th and tied for 7th. So he's playing already great golf. Decent amount of tournament history, but what I do like, and it's probably not great betting advice, but it seems like he goes every other where he has a good performance. His first ever start, tied for 3rd at the Waste Management, then tied for 39th. had 5th overall finish, and then last year tied for 57th. So if I know it's not great betting advice, but that correlation is kind of due to have another good year this year. So my long shot is going to be Heath Thigala plus 5,000 over at Fanatics.
Yeah, I have a buddy who lives down in the Scottsdale area. He will be going to uh, the Phoenix Open this weekend, and he texted me, I think, on Monday saying that Sahith top 20 was his favorite bet that he was looking at. So, yeah, don't hate that one at all, and jealous of him. I think this is his third year in a row going. So, going to be a lot of fun. I'll keep this one pretty short here. Not a guy I'm very excited to bet, but couldn't ignore the recent history here. I'm going to take a shot at Jordan Spieth plus 5,500. Again, if you don't want to, if people out there don't want to take a big long shot for a winner, you can get him at plus 380 tied or top 10, including ties. So I don't think that's a bad way to go either. Straight up, last 3 appearances here, he's finished top 6 in all 3. You mentioned the crowd and the different atmosphere here than what you get anywhere else on the PGA Tour. I think he thrives under that. At one point, a fan favorite, I'd say he's still pretty popular with the fans, and clearly his course history here last 3 years. Like I said, not only top 10s, they're all top 6s. So it feels like he's due to get himself a win at the Phoenix Open. I know he struggled the last few years, really struggled the last few years. So it's tough for me to, really see him getting the outright. But 55-1, tough to ignore Jordan Spieth.
I think the golf community and myself in general would be happy to see Spieth back up on the leaderboard and back to playing some good golf. I've missed him in contention there. Our next category here is a top 20, and I'll send it to you first, but I don't have this in the top of my head, but make sure the top 20 and the placements, make sure you definitely do the sports book that doesn't do dead heat rules. It's a total scam. So dead heat, basically, for those that don't know, if you pick a guy in the top 20 and he ties for that 20th, then you split whatever you won with however many people you tie with. It's a complete scam from sports books. I don't remember on the top of my head which sports books have it, which don't. I think FanDuel does dead heat and DraftKings does not. But again, make sure it's in the fine print. Just make sure it's a scam, and make sure you stay away from that. But Ethan, who do you got for top 20?
Yeah, and just really quick on that, some books will say like DraftKings straight up says top 20 including ties.
Yep.
So, and I think MGM's the same, but yeah, definitely look at your house rules because you definitely need that including ties. For my top 20, I'm looking at Jake Knapp plus 148. Thought that was a decent price here. Again, just kind of going to go over his recent history, his course history. Course history, not fantastic. Tied for 44th last year, 28th the year before, but he's made the cut both times that he's played here. Was close to that top 20 2 years ago when he played, but really like what I've seen out of him so far this year. Tied for 11th at the Sony Open, tied for 5th last week at the Farmers Insurance. His strokes gained, total and putting, both very good. He's 9th in total strokes gained. He is 5th in putting. So again, I liked Siwoo Kim to win outright. He struggled with the putting. Maybe if it turns into who can putt the best here, we'll take our shot with Jake Knapp. He struggles strokes gained on tee to green and approach, but total strokes gained and putting, I do like Jake Knapp here, plus 148. Again, good recent history or good recent form, decent course history, plus 148 feels like a nice price.
Yeah, another young buck that I think excels under the chaos and whatnot at the Waste Management. I've seen a lot of people liking Knapp this week. I do as well, but don't have him in any of my bets. My top 20 is also going to be a younger buck. Actually, not that young, but I thought he was much younger than he was. He's actually 30 years old. This is a player that kind of came onto the scene last year, the year before. Yeah. He's young. Yeah, he's young. I'm 30, so he's young. And that's going to be Mav McNeely. I'm going to take him as my top 20 placement. Again, best odds I found plus 165 over at Hard Rock. I did not double check if that is including ties or not. Again, make sure you check that dead heat rules. 2 good starts this year, tied for 24th and a 10th place finish. But also great course history. He has a tied for 6th and a tied for 9th at the Waste Management. I love him in the top 20. Again, a young guy that I think is going to excel under the crazy crowd, like Mav quite a bit. And then our 4th category and final category is going to be a miscellaneous bet. This can be whatever you want. I'll start with this one, and I'm going to do a missed cut bet. So a golfer that's not going to make the cut. And I'm going to go with Victor Hovland at plus 225 to not make the cut over at Hard Rock. Hovland, I mean, this is talk about a guy that excel under pressure. Hovland falls into a little hole and cowers away and cries and just does not do well, gets in his own head. He has not played here since 2023. I think a little bit of that is because he doesn't like the chaos of the crowd, but also not great tournament history here. His first two starts, he got cut, and then in 2023, it tied for 42. I'm not loving Javi. He seems like he's a very hit and miss golfer. I'm going to bet on him to miss the cut and have a poor performance on Thursday, Friday this week. How about you, Ethan?
I looked at fading Hovland this week as well, but I went a different route with a fade. I'm going to do a head-to-head matchup, and this is just straight up a fade on Xander Schauffele. I'm taking Hideki Matsuyama plus 110 head-to-head for the full tournament against Xander. I know Xander has played well here in the past, but we kind of talked about him. Well, obviously off air. This is our first show, but talked about him last week. He hadn't played since October. Had a baby, which changes up your entire routine, and golfers are such creatures of habit that, it definitely throws a wrench into things. We saw Scotty struggle a little bit after having his baby and all the things that went on with Scotty. But yeah, I'm going to need to see it from Xander. He lost a 72 made cut streak last week by missing the cut. And yeah, he's priced as the second top golfer here, which by name he is. I just think he's overpriced at this point. So straight fade on Xander. Again, he has good course history here, but hasn't played since 2023. Had the baby. He's only played 2 days of, well, I'm sure he's played a little bit, but as far as tournaments go, only played the first 2 days last week at the Farmers Insurance. Just not going to trust Xander. I think he's overpriced right now as, like I said, the second best golfer odds-wise in the field. Plus 110 Hideki. I think it's a nice matchup.
Yeah, I like that quite a bit. Obviously, Xander 2 years ago had a phenomenal year. I think he had 2 major wins. Last year was dealing with injuries and time off, and I just don't trust him to come back. So I like that quite a bit. That brings us to our dog leg parlay, our little 2-legger for glory here. Ethan, I'm going to start off with you so I can get this into my odds here to see into the parlay here to see the odds. But who do you got for your leg of the dog leg parlay?
Yeah, I think I beat you to it. I think it's going to come out to plus 396 if our odds are correct here. But I'll keep this one really short, and it's going to be a little repetitive, and I apologize for that. I'm going back to Siwoo Kim. I'll take him top 30, including ties, minus 166. Again, it's going to be a parlay leg with yours. So felt like the juice was worth laying here. I already talked about why I like Siwoo to possibly win outright. So obviously a top 30 goes right along with that. If for those out there listening, if they want to be a little bit more ballsy, put him as a top 20. That's fine. If you want to be a little less risky, top 40, that's fine as well. But I sell on the top 30, right between minus 166. I think that's a fair parlay leg for Siwoo Kim, top 30.
Did I already give you my parlay leg?
You gave me the odds.
Oh, okay. I gave you the odds. I was going to say, are you reading my mind? My parlay leg is going to be Sahith Theegala, your Phoenix boy. Has a good head on his shoulders because I'm right there as probably one of my favorite bets of the weekend. Sahith Theegala, top 20 finish. If you want to get a little safer, I don't hate the top 30. I just plugged it in to pick it, and I'm seeing that our parlay is plus 419 on DraftKings.
Okay.
Let me see what top 30 would be for Sahith real quick. But like I said, I love Theegala. I think he has a really good shot at winning. He is my long shot winner here. Where is little Sahith? You have Siwoo top 30. I'm going to go Sahith top 30. That brings us at plus 279, plus 280 if you want to do the top 31. I'm going to say to my top 20. I like Theegala. I like him to bounce back after a poor performance last year at the Waste Management. And like I said, I think he's going to thrive under the atmosphere of Waste Management. But those are our bets. And again, please let us know in the comments if you'd like the layout here. If you want us to talk more bets, if you want more course info and other breakdowns, please let us know in the comments. But Ethan, do you have anything to add before we close off our first ever Ready Golf show brought to you by Better and Green?
Yeah, just one more time. Can you repeat what the total odds for that part? Plus 423. Is that what you said?
I think plus 419. Yeah.
419. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So if you want the parlay at plus 4, again, it's on DraftKings. I think that does include ties. So, but I'm on Pickett, so I haven't actually plugged it into DraftKings. But like I said, enjoy this Waste Management. Please let us know if you want us to change anything. And until then, guys, we'll see you in our next golf breakdown. We probably are only going to be covering the bigger tournaments with the majority of the guys in the field. So I don't really know what's coming up next. But we'll definitely cover all of the majors, the players, and a couple other big tournaments. As long as Scotty's playing and a couple other big guys, we're going to cover it. So thank you guys for tuning in. Good luck and enjoy the golf this weekend. We'll see you guys.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to Better Win Green, eh? To Better Win Green, eh? To Better Win Green, eh? Listen in and cash out, that's what it's all about. Come on, let's make cash now. We always on spot and we cover all spot from the bottom to the top, hey. Shout out to Ethan, shout out to Wyatt, shout out to Ben. Welcome, welcome to our podcast, Better Win Green.